friends, I'm Narendra Verma. As we have been discussing chapter 2, that is Principles of Management in Business Studies for class 12 CBSE. So in the same series, today we are going to have discussion on concept of scientific management. Later on, principles of scientific management. As you know already that in video number 4 related to this chapter, we talked about Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor, and we discussed their contribution in the field of management. So, as we have discussed all the 14 principles of Henry Fayol, now it's time to start the principles of scientific management given by F.W. Taylor. At that time, I told you that F.W. Taylor is also known as the father of scientific management. All right. So we need to understand what is this scientific management after all. Okay, today we'll understand the concept of scientific management first. Okay, and later on we'll have discussion on all the principles given by F.W. Taylor related to scientific management. Let's move on. So I would like to explain you the concept of scientific management with one example. You can see on the screen that there is one empty jar and it needs to be fully filled with these pebbles. Pebbles are there just before you. Okay, so we need to think that what can be the way to put all these pebbles into this jar so that it becomes full. All right, now see what happens. Traditional method to fill the jar is what you can see. You just pick the pebbles and you put them into the jar. You can see before you. But one more thing is being mentioned there, you can read, but still the jar is not fully filled. It is filled but not fully filled. Why I am saying that? Because it is empty between the pebbles. You can see the space between the pebbles. Still the jar is empty. And the question was regarding filling it fully. Okay, now let's move on. The best possible way to fill the jar fully with the pebbles is to put the pebbles into the jar after crushing them into powder. Means we need to fill the jar up to its utmost level. For that, what we can do, we have to very first crush all the pebbles and then we will put that powder into the jar and the jar becomes right. Now you must understand something by this example. So what we did with the jar and pebble was not traditional or usual. That was something best it can be, right? This is what the concept of scientific management. It stresses that there is always one best way of doing a work. See, when one work is assigned to anyone, then there can be many ways to complete that. All right. But we all know that there has to be one best way in which it can be done in very appropriate manner, the most appropriate manner, or you can say in the perfect manner. So that will be only a single way. So scientific management says that after analysis, after studying its from all aspects, you need to reach over the best method and then apply it. All right. So by this, what happens? You become scientific. Scientific management says that just use all scientific system, objectives, and logical principles and techniques to all managerial functions. Whatever activities we are undertaking in management, all activities should be guided by science. How it can be done? Just to search one best possible way, how this job has to be performed in the best possible way. Then we have to go accordingly. I would like to add one more example over here. Say for example, you want to make a perfect tea. So for that, sometimes what happen, you add sugar more, sometimes you add tea leaves more, sometimes you do not boil it in a proper manner. When everything happens in accurate proportion and the boiling is also done at the same level, then what happens? You all the time get the same taste of the tea. All right. So that is the best possible way and the one and only best way to make same tea all the time, right? If you really want the same results all the time, then you'll have to apply some kind of best technique so that that best techniques makes you different from the other people. So here we can see scientific management can also be defined as application of science for each and every element of management. We focused about it. Whatever activity we are going to undertake in management, it has to be guided by science. We need to apply science in each and everything, and if we do so, then the management is known as scientific management. All right. F.W. Taylor defined it in his own words that scientific management means knowing exactly what you want men to do and seeing that they do it in the best and the cheapest way. Because when we talk about the management, then we'll have to take care of the efficiency. And F.W. Taylor was really very much focused about efficiency and productivity. Okay, so that's why he has added here in the definition as well the cheapest way, best and the cheapest way. So it was all about the concept of scientific management. Now we'll move forward to understand the principles of scientific management given by F.W. Taylor. All right. So, after learning the concept of scientific management by F.W. Taylor, we are going to learn the principles given by him. This we have covered, and now we are going to cover this. Principles of scientific management by F.W. Taylor. Right. See, there were four principles and various scientific techniques given by F.W. Taylor. So techniques we'll talk about in another session. In today's session, as we have discussed concept of scientific management, now we are going to discuss principles of scientific management. So there were four principles given by F.W. Taylor. All right. So the very first principle is science, not rule of thumb. Second, harmony, not discord. Third, cooperation, not individualism. And the fourth one, development of workers to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. So, to learn these four principles in a single go, I have made a code. Alright, so I have taken the first letter of these first words so that I can make a code with these. So what is the code to remember? She and he can dance. Alright, let me tell you one unique thing about this code, why it is unique. You may not find it unique, but it is unique. Because whenever we talk about he and she, you just see various examples, you'll always get the phrase like he and she, not she and he. Alright, all the time we put he first and then she. So this time you'll have to remember that she has to be first and he has to be after that. Okay, so that is why she and he can dance. Fine, this is the code that can be remembered in the easy way. So S stands for science, not rule of thumb. H stands for harmony, not discord. C stands for cooperation, not individualism. And D stands for development of workers to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. Alright. So now we need to learn about these principles one by one. Very first, let's start with science, not rule of thumb. So we have already learnt about what is science in chapter number 1. When we were learning management as science, then we talked about it. And in second chapter as well, when we were learning the features and importance of principles of management, so there was the point of importance that the management principles, why these are important. These are important so that your decision may become scientific. All right, now
let's move on. What F.W. Taylor said, what was his philosophy? His philosophy was about increasing productivity and efficiency. All right, like I have already explained you, F.W. Taylor was working on floor level. He was a laborer. He observed the problems happening with the workers, and later on he was promoted. So he observed the problems with the managers as well. And by his profession, by his knowledge, he was a scientist. Okay, so he tried to apply all the science just to increase productivity and efficiency. Okay, and that should be feasible to both managers as well as workers. All right, so the very first principle that he gave, science not rule of thumb. Let's understand that. What the science says, it says that there has to be one best method to do any work. When any activity, any task, any goal, any assignment is given to you, then you may do it in various ways, and maybe possible you have been doing it in very traditional way or which is very old method. All right, but maybe possible that old method is not having any kind of logic behind it. When you think over it, when you use your brain, use your creativity, do some analysis and study it from all aspects, then it may be possible you reach over some best method to do that work. All right, now you have understood what is science. Science means just finding or searching the best method to complete that task somehow. And this, as I told you, that finding the best method. So it is not a single stroke activity that right now the work is given to you and you come with the best method. No, you will have to undergo the analysis and you have to study all the aspect. Only then you reach over the conclusion that this is the best way to complete this activity. And what is the definition of best? Best means in which your resources are not being wasted much, in which you are investing very cheap amount of money, okay, and in which you are getting the maximum benefit. So that will be the best method to do any activity, to complete any task. I just give you one example so that you may understand better. Okay, very first we are focusing on this science. All right, I'll explain this term separately. Okay, so say for example there is a 5-year-old child and there is no one at home, or you can say that his mother is sleeping and he feels hungry. He knows that whatever cookies or something he is given to eat by his mother, these are kept in a cupboard, but that cupboard is a bit high. His height is not allowing him to reach over there. So what he does, he tries his level best to reach to the cupboard and try to open that. He jumps. Okay, he jumps, even then he does not reach there. All right, and then what he does, then he sees that there is a kind of bed lying there. He gets onto the bed and then jumps from there. Even then he does not reach to the cupboard. All right, so he keeps on trying. Fine. Later on, at last, after having tried many methods, okay, then he gets one idea. There is one stool kept, and then he uses that stool. He gets on to the stool and then he opens the cupboard and takes cookies and shut the cupboard and comes down from the stool. Okay, so that was the best way. Fine, but that best way could not come or strike to his mind very first. He took time. All right, so he was a child, so he took much time. But in an organization, mature people are working, they will not take much time. They will take some time, but let me tell you, I just give you very easy example. In an organization, the situation will be a bit more complex than this. All right, so in that case, obviously, sometimes it may take more time to find out the best possible way to complete that activity, that task. All right, but the focus should be there just to find out the best method. And what is the definition of best? I have already told you that resources will be wasted very less, least wastage of resources, and less amount of money should be invested. Okay, and it should be completed in, you can say, very less time. fine, and the result should be as expected. Okay, you'll have to keep these things, fine. So this was the meaning of science. So FW Taylor says that you need to find out the best possible way. All right, now what happens, this best possible way replaces the old traditional method which has been going on without any logic, which is known as rule of thumb. Fine. Rule of thumb, what does it mean? This is nothing but a kind of English phrase which means any kind of principle or practice which is broadly practiced by so many people, but there is no logic behind it. Fine. This is based on some personal experience. This is not even accurate or reliable. It is subject to change. All right. And it is not developed as the principles of science. Fine. I would like to give you various examples for rule of thumb. What are the rules of thumb? Okay. You must be noticing in your family or in some other families that there are, in some family there are girls and boys as well. Okay, but you see that your parents, your mother or father, they both are teaching that girl that how to prepare food. Okay, they must be teaching her that how to handle the kitchen. You need to be perfect. Okay, one a day will come, you'll get married, and then you will have to handle all these things. So a kind of old practice has been going on. But in present scenario, you can see that cooking food, eating food is must for every human. If you need to survive, you are alone, you have lack of resources, then but you have the things to prepare at your home, then you must know how to prepare it. But if you have not learnt it, then how you are going to prepare? So what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying that the girl should not learn how to prepare food. I am saying that every individual should learn how to prepare food, whether he is a boy or she is a girl. Why? Because it is must for survival. All right. So this is the logic, that for surviving at any time a person may have to face that kind of situation. So it is a kind of preparation, that if anybody, whether he is a boy or girl, she is a girl, he or she may come across to that situation. Okay, and that is a kind of preparation for that situation. So this is what, this is a kind of logic behind it. Okay, and what has been going on, that is rule of thumb, nothing else. Okay, their parents did the same to them, that's why they have been doing. All right, so there are various kind of things related to rule of thumb. Okay, now let's move on. So what happens? Science replaces rule of thumb. So whatever the best method is found, that replaces the old traditional method, it becomes a substitute, and various benefits of these principles are there in the organization, that everything has a logic, and each and every activity, whether it is a small work or big task, it has to be done in the similar manner. Okay, FW Taylor stated that. And what are the advantages of that? There are various advantages. Advantages like least wastage of resources. Okay, like I told you in the beginning. Okay, saving of time, saving of human energy. Okay, so this was all about science, not rule of thumb principle of FW Taylor. Now let's move on to another principle.